We decided to leave our village after 56 people were killed in one day. Alright, the news in detail. Sitting on a yellow chair in the shade and wearing an orange veil, Fatima's agitation is obvious. About 30 people from our village had already been killed and our belongings were constantly being looted. Fatima is now staying in a camp in Anka in northwest Nigeria's Zamfara state after her home village was Jakuka became too dangerous to live in. Abbas, also staying in the camp known as New Emirates Palace in Anka, left his village of Tangaram with his wife and 3 children after his father was abducted 2 years ago. My father, who was the traditional leader of our village, was abducted by bandits and taken to the bush, he says. The bandits demanded a ransom which was paid since then. We haven't tried to return. 2 people went back to check on the situation there, but one was killed and the other was abducted, although later he escaped. Fatima and Abbas are just 2 of around 200,000 people who have been displaced within the northwest of Nigerian states since 2011. According to the International Crisis Group, this includes around 100,000 people who sought safety in the towns of Anka, Chinkafi, and Zomi in the Zamfara state following an upsurge in violence in 2018. Anka camp is the only site for IDPs in Zamfara. In the northwest, IDPs are usually presented in every town of the state and hosted in different cities, which makes, among other things, more complicated the availability of reliable figures. While in the northeast, in Borno State, the IDPs are most concentrated in garrison towns. For people across Zamfara and neighboring states in northwest Nigeria, the insecurity has disrupted everyday activities such as earning one's living and growing food and prevented people from accessing essential services such as healthcare. What began as localized disputes between herders and farmers over access to land have metamorphosized gradually into a major conflict. Most people fled their homes in response to extreme violence, including abductions and mass killings like those reported by Fatima and Abbas currently. The majority receive almost no organized assistance. In Anka and in other places where displaced are present, people are in desperate need of essentials such as shelter, clean drinking water and enough to eat. How to feed their families when they have no income and nowhere to grow their own food is a major concern. Our biggest problem here is food, says Abbas. You know, as villagers, our main occupation is farming, but now we can't farm and we can't feed our families. Teams from Medicine Sans Frontières, Doctor Without Borders have been working in Anka since 2010, where they run a 135-bed hospital for children. They are currently providing the displaced people in the town with medical care, clean drinking water, plastic sheetings for building shelters, and essentials such as cooking utensils and blankets. MSF's hospital in Anka is seeing large numbers of malnourished children as a result of the food shortages. The same is true in Shinkafi and Zomi, where MSF has worked since 2019. In Shinkafi, MSF runs a number of services in the town's general hospital, including a 33-bed therapeutic feeding center. In Zomi's hospital, MSF runs a 30-bed feeding center, and it was the similar situation in the state capital, Gusau, until April. Between January and October 2020, MSF teams treated a total of 20,260 children for malnutrition in Anka, Chinkafi, Zomi, and Gusau. Malaria, which can be exacerbated by malnutrition, is also a major concern. MSF teams have seen rising numbers of children with severe forms of the disease. When the peak season for malaria started, the cases we were seeing were beyond all expectation, says Dr. Sali Muhammad Hawal in Shinkafi Hospital. We were admitting 25 to 30 children with severe malaria each day. MSF responded by increasing the number of beds from 19 to 54, setting up additional wards in tents and hiring extra staff from January to October 2020. MSF treated 35,358 patients for malaria across Zamfara state. MSF teams also provide medical treatment and psychological support to survivors of sexual violence, treating 312 people in Anka, Chinkafi, and Zomi in the first 10 months of 2020. With so many urgent medical needs, the few health facilities that exist are very overcrowded. Bed space is really a challenge, says Grace Bueti, MSF midwife supervisor at Chinkafi Hospital. We have 53 beds in the pediatric ward, 33 in the feeding center, and 6 in the emergency room. Most patients who come to us are in a severe condition and we cannot send them back, so we admit them even if we are full. All right, and a lot has been said so far on this one. Well, and looking at what has actually happened, and you will notice that most of these people who had been supportive of Say Baba are now like, God, why do we have to vote this man in? Because there's been destructions. There's been a lot of destruction since before now. And a lot of people have been like, well, if that is the case, the good Lord will continue to protect our lands. And that is it on this one, my people. Meanwhile, let me have more take from you on this. And remember to subscribe for more updates. Thanks and God bless.